Predict demand is supply software for a specific operational decision, generates demand forecasts by applying trained ML models that account for causal factor relationships. This video explains what the tool does, why the workflow matters, and how the output becomes useful decision evidence. The problem is that supply teams often manage this workflow with scattered inputs, inconsistent review rules, and manual interpretation. At quarantadue.ai, every MCP workflow starts from the real tool interface, not from a generic prompt. The goal is simple. Keep the expert in control while the system structures the evidence. Inputs, reasoning, and outputs stay connected in one reviewable flow. Now the results become easier to compare, easier to review, and easier to explain. Predict demand narrows that process into a repeatable model so teams can compare cases without rebuilding the logic each time. Predict demand starts with a defined input contract. Typical inputs include historical monthly sales, seasonality index, forecast horizon, planned price change, and competitor price ratio. Keeping these fields explicit reduces ambiguity and makes every run easier to audit. The workflow then applies calculate baseline demand by adjusting historical sales for seasonal patterns and current economic conditions. Say, calculate the demand change resulting from the planned price adjustment, allochromatic elasticity coefficient to historical sales, calculate additional demand generated by marketing spend, accounting for diminishing returns at higher budget levels, calculate demand shift due to our price position relative to competitors using a market share sensitivity function, and calculate final predicted monthly demand by summing the seasonally adjusted baseline with price, marketing, and competitive effects. This keeps the process deterministic, reviewable, and aligned with how supply teams actually make decisions. Predict demand returns structured outputs such as monthly demand forecast, seasonally adjusted base, price effect, marketing lift, and demand contribution analysis. These outputs are designed to support review, reporting, comparison, and follow-up actions. The value of predict demand is not just automation. It is a controlled way to turn repeated supply work into a documented business process with clear inputs, transparent logic, and reusable outputs.